Every 4 years, Americans head to the polls to elect their president. It's a time of great anticipation and civic duty, as millions of citizens cast their ballots, hoping to shape the future of their country. But does each individual vote hold the same weight? This question often lingers in the minds of many voters, especially when considering the complexities of the U.S. electoral system. The answer, it turns out, is a bit complicated. While every vote is counted, the influence of each vote can vary significantly depending on where you live. That's because the United States uses a system called the Electoral College to choose its president, and it doesn't always reflect the direct popular vote. In this system, each state is allocated a certain number of electors based on its representation in Congress. This system, enshrined in the Constitution, often sparks debate and raises questions about fairness, representation, and the very essence of American democracy. The framers of the Constitution designed the Electoral College as a compromise between electing the president by a vote in Congress and by popular vote of qualified citizens. Understanding the Electoral College is crucial to grasping the dynamics of U.S. presidential elections and their potential impact on the nation's future. It's important to recognize that while the popular vote reflects the will of the people, the Electoral College ultimately decides the outcome. This can lead to situations where a candidate wins the popular vote but loses the election, as seen in several historical instances. The debate over the Electoral College continues to this day, with some advocating for its abolition in favor of a direct popular vote, while others argue it protects the interests of smaller states and ensures a balance of power. As voters, understanding this system helps us engage more deeply with the electoral process and appreciate the complexities of our democracy. So, does your vote really count? The answer is yes, but in ways that are shaped by the unique structure of the Electoral College. Every vote contributes to the larger picture, influencing the electors who ultimately decide the presidency. By participating in the electoral process, you play a vital role in shaping the future of the nation. The Electoral College is a process, not a place. It's how we elect the President of the United States. Instead of a direct popular vote, the outcome of the presidential election hinges on securing a majority of electoral votes. This system was established at the 1787 Constitutional Convention. The Founding Fathers debated how to elect the president, considering various proposals. Ultimately, they settled on the Electoral College as a compromise between a direct popular vote and selection by Congress. Each state gets a specific number of electors based on its total number of senators and representatives in Congress. This system, known as the Electoral College, is a unique feature of the American political landscape. It was established by the Founding Fathers as a compromise between election of the president by a vote in Congress and election of the president by a popular vote of qualified citizens. There are 538 electors in total, a number derived from the total membership of the United States Congress. This includes 100 senators, 2 from each state, and 435 representatives, which are apportioned among the states based on population. Additionally, the District of Columbia is allocated 3 electors, despite not having voting representation in Congress, and a candidate needs to win at least 270 electoral votes to become president. This majority ensures that the winning candidate has broad support across the country, rather than just in the most populous states. The magic number of 270 is more than half of the total 538 electoral votes, making it the threshold for victory. These electors are typically chosen by their respective political parties. Each party nominates a slate of electors who are usually loyal members of the party, often including state and local officials, party leaders, or individuals with a strong affiliation to the party's candidate. After the popular vote in November, the electors meet in December to cast their ballots. This meeting is a formal process where electors gather in their respective state capitals to vote for president and vice president. The results of these votes are then sent to Congress, where they are officially counted in a joint session held in early January. While they are expected to vote for the candidate who won their state, there have been rare instances of faithless electors who vote differently. These faithless electors, though few in number, have occasionally cast their votes for someone other than their party's nominee, either as a form of protest or due to personal conviction. However, their impact on the outcome of presidential elections has been minimal, as most electors adhere to their pledge. Candidates and their campaigns strategize heavily around winning specific states and their corresponding electoral votes. They focus on swing states, where the outcome is less predictable and could swing the election in their favor. This leads to intense campaigning and resource allocation in these key battleground states, often at the expense of states considered safe for one party or another. Section 5. The winner takes all, except in Maine and Nebraska. In most states, the candidate who wins the popular vote receives all of that state's electoral votes. This is known as a winner-take-all system. For example, if a candidate wins California by a single vote, they get all 55 of its electoral votes. However, Maine and Nebraska use a different method, awarding electoral votes based on the popular vote in each congressional district and 2 votes to the statewide winner. Section 6. When the popular vote doesn't win the presidency. One of the most controversial aspects of the Electoral College is the possibility of a candidate winning the presidency without winning the national popular vote. This has happened 5 times in U.S. history, most recently in 2016. In these instances, the candidate who won the Electoral College may not be seen as representing the will of the majority, leading to questions about the legitimacy and fairness of the system. Section 7. A system under scrutiny. The Electoral College has faced criticism for various reasons. Critics argue that it gives too much power to swing states, diminishes the votes of citizens in states that are not considered competitive, and can potentially lead to the election of a president who did not win the popular vote. They also point out that the system was designed in a different era with different concerns and may not be suitable for the current political landscape. Section 8. Arguments for the Electoral College. Despite criticisms, the Electoral College also has its defenders. They argue that it protects the interests of smaller states, prevents candidates from focusing solely on densely populated areas, and promotes stability by encouraging the formation of broad-based coalitions. They believe that it safeguards against tyranny of the majority and ensures that the president has support from various regions of the country. Efforts to reform or abolish the Electoral College have been ongoing for decades. The Electoral College, established by the U.S. Constitution, has been a point of contention, especially in recent elections where the popular vote did not align with the electoral vote outcome. This has led to widespread calls for change and numerous protests across the nation. One proposed reform is the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, an agreement among states to award their electoral votes to the winner of the national popular vote, effectively bypassing the Electoral College. This compact aims to ensure that the candidate who receives the most votes nationwide becomes the president, reflecting the true will of the people. The idea is to create a more democratic and fair electoral process. As of 2024, the compact has been adopted by 16 states and the District of Columbia, representing 205 electoral votes. These states have taken a significant step towards changing the way presidential elections are decided. The compact is a legally binding agreement, and once enough states join, it will fundamentally alter the electoral landscape of the United States. It will take effect when states representing at least 270 electoral votes join the agreement. This threshold is crucial because it represents the majority of the 538 total electoral votes, ensuring that the national popular vote winner will always secure the presidency. The compact is seen by many as a way to make every vote count equally, regardless of the state in which it is cast. Advocates believe this reform will lead to increased voter turnout and a more engaged electorate, as every citizen's vote will have a direct impact on the election outcome. Section 10. Understanding the debate. The debate over the Electoral College reflects fundamental questions about democracy, representation, and the balance of power in the United States. It raises issues of fairness, equality, and the very definition of what it means to have a government by the people. Understanding the arguments on both sides is essential for engaging in informed discussions about the future of U.S. presidential elections. Section 11. The Electoral College and You. Whether you support it or oppose it, the Electoral College plays a crucial role in shaping American politics and determining the nation's leadership. It influences campaign strategies, voter turnout, and ultimately, who occupies the Oval Office. By understanding how it works, its history, and the arguments surrounding it, citizens can become more informed participants in the democratic process and contribute to the ongoing conversation about the future of U.S. elections.